So Bleacher Report put out a massive 4-team trade proposal, including the Sixers, Blazers, Heat, and Bulls. Today we'll talk about whether it actually makes sense and if it could ever happen.
Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome into Philly Take with RB. Like always, hit the like button if you enjoy this content. Subscribe, ring the bell down below. You know, all the good stuff. That way you don't miss any of the coverage as we inch closer to the season. However, still no resolution with the Damian Lillard situations, the James Harden situations of the world. And right now we're sitting here just twiddling our thumbs, wondering what is going to happen. In the meantime, though, Bleacher Report put out a massive trade proposal, got a lot of interaction, a lot of people talking, discussing, debating, and today we're going to sit here and react to it, talk about whether it actually makes sense for everybody involved. But down below in the comment section, let me know right now, what do you think the most realistic outcome is? Does James Harden, does Damian Lillard go back to their respective teams for training camp? Do they both end up getting traded? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And before we jump right into it, shout out to our sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy service. I'm sure anybody out there listening has either been through a really tough time or knows somebody who's been through, say, a mental health experience. Personally, I've gone through some tough situations, where I haven't been feeling well, and I really could have used somebody to talk to or just reach out to, to have that comfortability factor, and I never knew about such an easily accessible outlet like a BetterHelp. I'm really big on this, and their mission is to make therapy more affordable, and it makes finding a therapist much easier because it's online and remote. So all you have to do is answer a few questions, and just in a few clicks, BetterHelp is going to match you with a professional therapist within a few days. You can then talk to that therapist via text, chat, phone call, video call. You can message them at any time. Maybe you're not going through something, but you know somebody who's going through something, right? They're stressing about a new job or a family encounter or whatever it is. And you can use BetterHelp and not have to worry about even stressing to find a new therapist if you don't like the one that you have. So they will work with you. They are very, very helpful, and they're there to help for the better cause. So if you're struggling, consider online therapy, or if you know somebody who needs it, go down below to the description, click the link, go to betterhelp.com, get 10% off of your first month by clicking that link in the description, or again, go to betterhelp.com/PhillyTake. All right, let's jump into this, man. So again, Bleacher Report put out a massive trade proposal, a new Damian Lillard 4-team trade where everybody wins. This was posted by Andy Bailey, and I could show you the tweet here, but rather, to do it the hard way, I was like, okay, let's put it into the trade machine and let's go full screen. That way everybody can see it all at once, instead of piecing it together little by little. So I pulled it up here. We have the trade. It is in the trade machine. And I want to know what everybody thinks about this down below in the comment section. We're going to piece it little by little, but now we can see the whole thing full screen. So in this massive 4-team trade proposal, the Portland Trailblazers received James Harden, Kyle Lowry, Jaime Jaquez, Nikola Jovic, and 2 first-round picks by the Miami Heat. When it comes to the Blazers, I don't know if James Harden makes the most sense in terms of fit. Maybe Kyle Lowry gets swapped and then ends up getting bought out. But really, the Blazers do get the cream of the crop of what they want in this trade, right? They get Jaime Jaquez, they get Nikola Jovic, 2 young promising players, and they get draft assets. That's what the Blazers are looking for. They're looking to continue building this young core they have, and really they're trying to move on from the best player ever in their franchise history. And I will say, just as a, disclaimer here, like, it is very hard to get equal value nowadays. You have all these different situations. A lot of people thought it would be addressed in the new CBA, but you have a lot of situations where stars are pushing their way towards certain destinations, and most of the time you're not really getting equal value in a trade. Usually it's more of a lopsided, here goes a star, and here goes some draft assets, or hopefully some promising young guy who might be good in a couple years. So I know, there's probably people out there getting all mad right now. Oh, this trade sucks, whatever. Fair. You can have that opinion, and I'm not saying it's good or bad. But all I'm saying is try to open your mind a little bit and see whether this does provide value for every team involved. Because again, you start getting into these 3-4 trades, it gets very, very difficult to then go out there and make sure everybody's getting equal compensation. So that's what the Blazers would get in this return. The Miami Heat would get their guy Damian Lillard. They would also get Nurkic as a salary fill, and they would get 2 second-round picks via the Sixers and the Bulls. Then you look at the Philadelphia 76ers, and in this trade, this is interesting because we've heard about Zach LaVine, we've heard Tyler Hero a little bit here and there, but in this trade proposal, they're getting both. They're getting Zach LaVine and they're getting Tyler Hero from the Miami Heat. Then they're getting a second-round pick in 2028, and they're getting essentially a pick swap here with the Bulls, so they're kind of moving back a little bit, as we'll see. But really, this deal for the Sixers would provide them a athletic wing who can obviously knock down and can play off the ball defense and, really can play on or off the ball. A guy who can just move around the offense, maybe a better fit with a guy like Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. But obviously, he's under contract for the next 4 years. So you get a Zach LaVine, and then you also get a Tyler Hero. What do Sixer fans think about a potential backcourt of Tyrese Maxey and Tyler Hero? For me, I don't know if it moves the needle. I do think that Hero contract is, not really too promising. However, let's not take away from Tyler Hero. He's had some really solid years so far, been up and down at times, but, another guy who can create a little bit, guy can knock down, and when he's on, he's on fire, so whether he ends up being, say, a starting guard or maybe a six-man, he can still be a valuable player. So, I haven't heard any trades that really threw these two in together. Obviously, I'm big on Zach LaVine. If you're going to end up moving on from Harden, and if he does not want to be here, then, I've said all off season, right? The Bulls are a very realistic trade partner in terms of making sense. There's not a lot out there, but, if the Bulls are trying to split Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, maybe their skill sets don't work very well together, and Zach LaVine has had his ups and downs in Chicago with the fans, the coach, etc. Maybe the Bulls decide to move on and they go into this little bit of a retool, because I've said all offseason, I don't think the Bulls are getting any better with their current roster, how it's constructed. They've had a very unique offseason, I'll say, and I don't really understand it all with the guards that they're signing and, similar skill sets. But if they were to decide to move on from Zach LaVine, maybe this is the deal. Then you have the Chicago Bulls in this trade scenario, and again, this is where it kind of doesn't make sense for me. They get Tobias Harris, they get Caleb Martin from the Miami Heat, had a really good playoff run. They get Keon Johnson from the Blazers. They have the pick swap with the Sixers in 2029, and then they get an additional first-round pick in 2030. So I think in this trade proposal, again, it's very hard to put these kind of deals together, but I think the Bulls get the short end of the stick here, right? Because the Blazers get what they want. The Heat get what they want with their guy. Even the Sixers, get a little bit of an upgrade, and they get two guys here who could definitely provide value. But then when I look at the Bulls, Tobias Harris is not going to fit with DeMar DeRozan. And that's why I don't ever think this would happen. Maybe if the Bulls are going, for a couple role players as well as some draft compensation for the future, maybe that's their goal here, to get another couple assets that they can load up on for the future. I just don't know what the Bulls are thinking. I don't know what their game plan is. I don't know where they go from here, but I just do not think this really moves the needle for the Chicago Bulls. If it's up to me, if it's in my opinion here, I think a lot of these other teams, get the value they want. And it's very interesting. Again, this trade machine is kind of subjective, but it says that the Sixers have -2 wins. How would the Sixers have -2 wins and the Bulls get +2 wins here? I just don't understand it. But that is the trade here, the 4-team trade proposal where Bleacher Report says that everybody wins. So what do you guys think about that down below in the comments section? Do you think it makes sense? Do you think any of these teams would bite for this deal? Do you think this could ever happen? In my opinion, I do not see this turning into a 4-team trade. I do see a potential 3-team trade that could, be put together based on what the teams want. Because again, I don't think that the Clippers have anything to offer that the Sixers and Daryl Morey really want right now. So if it came down to a James Harden trade, I could definitely see that turning into a 3-team trade. But when you start interconnecting and locking these things together, it just gets very, very hard, especially with the salary situation. So that's where we're at. We're kind of at a standstill in the NBA offseason. It usually gets to this point. But Damian Lillard, we're hearing the Blazers don't really like the return the Heat are offering. The Sixers don't like the return that the Clippers are offering. And right now it just seems we're going to be stuck until somebody budges or until they suck it up, come back. I don't see a way Dame comes back, but Could Daryl Morey really put his foot down and say, well, James, you got to come back to camp now? Are they ready to enter those trenches, man? Are they ready for this thing to get ugly again, just like it did a couple years ago? I don't know, but give me your thoughts down below. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And like always, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.